This evacuation alert, it's real. 7:10 a.m., January 8th. The Eaton fire was 7 miles from my home. I always thought I would be ready for anything. And spoiler alert, I wasn't. At least, not at first. Because here's the twist. This test of my finances didn't start with the fire. It started with the flat tire. So grab yourself your cup of coffee, because in today's Lady Boss of Finance episode, it's all about what it really means to be ready. Let's rewind. A few years ago, I got a big tax refund, a few $1,000s, and I did what felt responsible. I threw every single dollar at my $23,000 credit card debt. And that, by the way, that whole story is linked in another coffee confessional. But a week after I had done that, I hit a construction zone because, of course, LA, and I got a flat tire. What I didn't know then, you can't just replace one tire. You have to replace both of them, one on each side of the car. And when all 4 tires are worn down, like mine were, you're toast. Not avocado toast, just full-on burnt toast. Guess how much I had in my emergency fund? $0. I had $23,000 in credit card debt, $63,000 in student loans, and not a dime set aside for plot twists. And you'd think I would have known better because I was a former AP English literature teacher after all, and I know plot twists happen all the time in books, and clearly also in life. But standing in a local car repair shop, it fixed more than just my flat tire. It fixed my mindset because that was the moment it hit me. Being financially responsible is not the same thing as being financially prepared. Let's fast forward to the Eaton fire of January 2025. Tuesday, January 7th. The night before the fire, the winds were howling. Power flickered, internet died. Then power really died. My husband fired up our generator, and we did something I cannot recommend enough. We grabbed a flashlight, a piece of printer paper, and a pen to make a list. We walked room by room, writing down exactly what we would take if we had to leave. And this checklist right here, this was our calm before the storm game plan. Call it our homemade Checklist Manifesto. Link in the description for that great book. And this little piece of paper, it was everything. Because if shit hit the fan, and spoiler alert, it did, we would not have to think. We could just act. And that moment of shit hitting the fan, it showed up at 7:10 the next morning, along with a major emergency money lesson. Emergency money lesson number 1. Planning ahead, whether it's for your belongings or your Benjamins, that money protects your future self because it means that when those life plot twists happen, which they will, you can quickly pivot from uncertainty to empowered action. Wednesday, January 8th. The alert hit. Technically, our street was not in the zone, but across the street was. We didn't wait because that checklist, it was our lifeline. Packing was quick, calm, and clear. There was no "do I need this" moments. We already did all that hard thinking the night before. Before leaving, power's still out, but daylight's still there. I took video of every room. For insurance, 100% yes, but also for peace of mind. We went to my mom's, aka Doggy Disneyland, for Hamilton, because let me tell you, that pup, side note, he has 3 water fixtures to play with. I grew up with a hose, so he loves being over there, so we went there. We unpacked, walked Hamilton, and waited. Watching the CAL FIRE map, red zones creeping closer and closer to our home. Emergency money lesson number 2. Documentation is financial protection, yes, but it was also the hardest mental shift to stop seeing our stuff from vacation memos and to start seeing all of our things as financial assets. But that act of documenting our things, it did so much more than prepare for insurance claims. It was about honoring what we built and making sure that if we did lose everything, we had proof that it mattered. It was documenting and saying, I see the life I built, and it deserves to be protected. Thursday, January 9th. We geared up to return home. Not to stay, but to pack more. Then, another alert. Literally, as we got into our car, the evacuation lifted, and we drove home anyway, even without power. Why? Because we knew that with power still down, think of things like our fridge, all of that food rotting and the smelly chore that would only get worse before it would get better. As we got off the freeway, our neighborhood, it looked like it was snowing. And then you look up and you realized it was ash. Eerie and silent, and inside our home, it was so weird that the house, it looked untouched. Dirty dishes from the night we lost power were still exactly in the same spots. And some of our belongings were there, but not the ones we valued the most as our most important things to take. And spoiled food in the fridge and freezer, we had to throw out everything. Food I made with love and prepped for comfort, all gone. And I was there racked with guilt because friends were in the process of losing more. And yet I'm there with my reality of cooking being a way that I breathe. So yeah, I cried and I felt guilt, and all of that came crashing to a money lesson. Emergencies aren't just expensive. They're emotional because you lose routines, rituals, tiny comforts. An emergency fund doesn't just cover costs, it cushions your comeback. Saturday, our smart home pinged. Power was back. We returned for good, but we didn't exactly resume to normal. We rethought things. We didn't replace everything we lost, just what we needed. And that paper checklist that we made from Tuesday, it reminded me that wealth isn't the stuff you own. It's what you can't replace. Our documents, they were already digitized. Our most important assets? The relationships, each other, Hamilton and his ridiculously perfect furry little face. That's what emergency planning really is. A love letter to your future self. And for funding that emergency plan, Here's 3 pro tips to get you started. Pro tip number 1, start with $100. You don't need 6 months saved overnight. Start with just enough money for a flat tire, or tires as I learned the hard way. Start with what it would cost for one hotel night, because that buffer, whether you need to use all, some, or none of it, it's not just cash. It becomes your breath of freedom. Pro tip number 2, make your checklist now. Printed paper, a pen or pencil. Walk room to room in the daylight, snap a pic, take a video, upload it to Dropbox. It will feel silly until it saves you. Pro tip number 3, let your future self drive. Every dollar you save today is a care package you're making for future you. So if you're torn between debt payoff and savings, do both. Paying off debt crushes your past. Savings, it protects your future. What's our big takeaway? When life flips the script, it's not about what you've packed. It's about what you've prepared for. An emergency fund isn't just dollars. It's power, it's peace, it's a flashlight when the lights go out. Start small, 1 checklist, $1, 1 decision. And if this hit home, hit like and subscribe. And if you know someone who's, they've been meaning to get to it, they've been meaning to get around to creating that emergency fund, send this video to them. Because 1 checklist, it can change everything. So tell me in the comments, what's 1 thing, just 1, that you're adding to your emergency checklist? Not tomorrow, today. Let's catch up in those comments until I see you next Sunday on Lady Boss of Finance.